Chapter 27 The Deal Shadow Unmasked. 2 days had come and passed without incident or any sort of maverick attack, which the hunters were grateful for. Hydro, along with a little help from Gate here and there, had finally finished repairs on Axel, and he was once again ready to go back into the field. Zero had spent his time out with Iris, just talking to her and opening up to her, keeping himself to the advice Hydro had given him about letting Iris help heal the wound he suffered over what happened to X. As usual, the good doctor had been right, and despite it being such a strange thing for him to bear himself like that, he had indeed helped, and his mood had overall improved over the matter. However, he was still curious what shape Shell would be in when they fought each other after what had happened in Memory Lagoon. Now, as midnight fell on the second day, Zero, Iris, Ilya, Axel, and Fire still in the command chamber with sickness. I really don't like the idea behind this deal you agreed to with Shadow, but I know this is something that has to be done, so I won't prevent it. But it also will not be sanctioned as an official mission either, Six explained. That means officially this deal will never have happened if it happens to come up? Ellie asked. Ellie nodded at the Spartan hunter. I know the time is close at hand, so I won't keep you any longer. I'll only say be safe out there, Zero. We can't lose another great hunter, the commander-in-chief said. Zero turned to all of his friends. Even though they won't be participating, Shao wanted them to be there. Well, reasons none of them were entirely sure. All they could figure is it was a shot at possibly humiliating Zero, which everyone knew wouldn't happen. It's time, Zero said to his comrades. The others nodded and they all teleported out the base. Old Mega City. The group landed in what had been at one point a town square. After a massive maverick attack, the hunters hadn't been prepared for the entire city had been all but entirely destroyed. To Ellie at least it was creepy being in a city that was entirely abandoned. Despite knowing it had been figured years ago, she still couldn't help but feel that she was being watched by multiple people. This part, however, was soon interrupted from her thoughts by a voice emerging not too far from them. So, you decided to show up after all, came Shadow's voice. Of course, we need to put an end to this once and for all. You've been all over the place since we first met you. I have no idea if you're an ally or a maverick playing a really sick game, Zero said. Shadow appeared in his hooded robe as usual. Tonight, we answer that question once and for all, the Crazy Killer said during the sea saver. The others moved back to avoid getting involved in the fight, but keeping close enough so they could watch. Shadow noticed the movement and grinned to himself, unseen by anyone else. Enjoy the show. It won't last long, Shadow said. The mysterious ripple didn't vanish from where he stood and reappeared right in front of Zero, extending his left hand. Before the Crazy Killer could react, he was hit in the chest by a fully charged buster shot. The blast sent him flying backwards and he crashed to the ground. Zero quickly recovered and moving like he had been hit, he charged towards Shadow. The speed clearly caught even Shadow off guard, and Zero managed to land an attack on the rope replica cutting across his chest. Shadow stumbled back into the beard again, reappearing several feet back from where he had been. His cloak repaired the damage he had just sustained. Not bad, Zero, but it's going to take a lot more than that, Shadow taunted. Shadow reached inside of his robe, being careful not to let any part of himself be seen, and produced a saber of his own. When it illuminated, the blade was yellow, and slightly more curved than Zero's. Instead of tapping this time, the mysterious figure charged at Zero as Zero did the same. The two met in a collective energy as their sabers pressed hard against one another. The two was having a test of strength. Whoever was overpowered would no doubt be struck. After several moments, neither of the two made any sort of headway against the other, and the energy of the two sabers couldn't be contained, and a small explosion erupted from them, separating the two combatants for a moment. The two charged at each other again, and this time, instead of having a test of strength, it was a test of skill. They matched sword strike for sword strike. Zero would slash and Savage blade would be there to block it. Shell would throw out and Zero would parry. Perhaps this won't be as quick as Shell thought it would be, eh? XM obviously getting very into the duel. The others nodded in agreement, watching the fight just as intently as the young Reploid. Every one of them was curious who Shadow was beneath the hood, and they knew Zero was the only one who could answer that question for them all. You can do it, brother. We believe in you, Violet called out, cheering Zero on. This seemed to encourage Zero, and he pressed his attack harder on Shadow, finally getting through his defenses and laying another solid strike to his chest. Throughout the duration of the duel, however, there was one question on Zero's mind. Was Zero fighting at 100%, or was he fighting still injured for being stabbed by Gold Valent? The question nagged at him, but he pushed aside because if he was fighting still injured, he was still putting up one hell of a fight. Shadow stumbled back, surprised by the attack hitting him. The rope repairing itself yet again. Whoever this guy was, he took every precaution to keep his identity secret to the very end. Give it up, Shadow. You can't win this. You'd already saved yourself the time, Zero taunted. Shadow groaned to himself because this was not going as planned. Then again, nothing since he had decided to aid the hunters in the fight against the H-Hunters had, such as him getting stabbed by Gold Phalanx. Thankfully, damage had been fully repaired in time for the duel, but only just. While he was distracted by his thoughts, Seer had charged in again, and instead of landing a saber strike, landed a hard kick to mysterious Reploid's midsection, backing at the ground and rolling him for a few feet. Gah! Shouted Rage as he got back to his feet. Look at yourself. Through all the bloods we've had to deal with from you, you're sure not living up to the hype. I was telling Seer's favor. Shout underneath his hood glared over at Darts, and she backed up a bit. She couldn't see his face or eyes, but she could feel the ill intent from behind the robe. That's it. This is over. Now! Shout roared out, returning his attention to Red Death. He leaned over a little, extending his saber arm across his body, positioning body to stay perfectly with the ground. Shout had vanished to reappear, staying in an angle from Zero. He started to charge at the Crimson Killer and vanished right before reaching Zero, reappearing at the opposite end. He then disappeared once more and reappeared at the opposite angle and repeated the motion, confusing everyone including Zero. Below Zero, however, a giant red X made of energy appeared with Zero standing right in the center. Final strike! Shadow called out. All at once the entire X began to glow and red energy suddenly ripped up from it toward the sky, tearing through Zero. The energy lasted for a few seconds before finally dissipating. Zero fell to his knees, random cracks and sear marks across his armor. However, the attack didn't seem to have enough an effect on Zero, as the mysterious Reploid had hoped. Shadow then started wobbling where he stood before finally collapsing to one knee himself. Zero, slowly and gritting through the pain, returned to his feet. Damn, was all Shadow could manage to get out, as Zero charged toward him once more. Shadow this time didn't vanish or even try to move. As powerful as his final strike had been obviously counted on it defeating Zero because it was clear now to all the hunters. The mysterious Reploid was now entirely drained. Zero stopped several inches from the saber and held the sea saber with the tip only inches from the hood of one's face. Yield, Zero demanded this time. Shadow let a sigh, knowing he had been defeated. Very well, I yield, he said. Will you uphold your end of the bargain? Zero inquired. Shadow nodded his reply first. Of course, just remove your saber from my face, Zero, the hooded Reploid said. Gone was a deep, muffled voice that had grown accustomed to his shadow. It was now replaced by a clear, more softly-spoken voice, a voice that sounded familiar to them all. Zero nodded and deactivated Sea Saber and returned the hilt to his back holster. The Red Death took several steps away from Shadow as the others came over to congratulate Zero on his win, even if he had come out entirely unscathed. Shadow kept himself down on one knee, hesitating. Well? Violet demanded. Shadow took a deep breath and let out another sigh. He brought his hands up to his hood and, making good on the deal he had made with Zero back at Maverick Hunter headquarters, pulled it off. For the first time since they had met him, the Maverick Hunters finally got to see the Reploid behind the hood. No way, was all Zero could manage to say as they all took a zip back, entirely shocked. Before anything could say another word, Ayla fainted and hit the ground hard. None of them were even what that could even happen to her, but it was understandable given the shock had to be greatest to her, compared to even Zero because the face that had been hidden under the hood that belonged to Shadow. The face they had all wanted to see for so long was the face of Mega Man X. And here we are, Shadow is finally unmasked at last. It was fun trying to keep who it was on the hood secret, even in the end I wasn't very good at hiding it. It was a lot of fun reading the guesses and reviews of the story as he appeared. Some of you guessed it correctly of course, so kudos to those who did. I know this chapter came extremely quickly after chapter 26, but I had been building up to this chapter for a long time, and after disappearing for as long as I did, I wanted to finally get to you all that has waited patiently for so long. That's why it was uploaded immediately after 26. Thank you all for your continued support over the years. It means a lot to me. This story is still enjoyed even so many years after I started writing it, and despite the constant slow updates to it. As always, on no matter what you have to say. The good, the bad, the ugly, it all helps. Till next time, my peeps.